Hello, everyone. Hello, everybody. Sorry, just figuring out some small things. Okay. Hello, how's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Nani Fwa, and I just want to welcome you all to On the Couch with JACCD. So, On the Couch with JACCD is a show designed to engage students, prospective students, alumni, and tell you guys all about the Joyce Ababio College of Creative Design. And today we're going to have such a great time with one of our old students, someone called Boye Doe. He will be joining us in a moment. But before we begin, I just wanted to share a few messages and say that admissions at the Joyce Ababio College of Creative Design are currently open. So if you would like to apply and join the school, we have courses in fashion design, graphic design, and we also have other courses at the Professional Development Center. And we have campuses in Accra and also in Kumasi. So I'm just waiting to see if Boye Doe is online yet. Has anyone seen him? Hello, Boye Doe? If you're here, please do come online and we will... there he is. Okay. There he is. So please request and then we can start the conversation. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be a very great conversation. Don't worry. Also, by the way, as we're having this conversation, please do type any questions that you might have in the response box, and near the end of the conversation we will answer those questions. So let us see, has he requested to join? Okay, wait. So Boye Doe, there we go. It's a request. Oh no. I'm looking for Boye Doe. Boye Doe, can you please send a request to join the live? I can't see your request, but I've seen someone else's request. Oops. Sorry about that. I think we're having a few technical difficulties. Boye Doe, would you please join the live? Okay, there we go. Here we are. All right. And hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing very well, and how are you too?
I'm doing well as well. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us on the couch with JACCD. We are so
Thanks.
honored to have you here today. Thank you for being our first guest.
Oh, it's an opportunity, and thank you so much for having me. You're looking so beautiful. Let me say.
You look very dapper yourself. So I think one thing that I have to say is that I met you for the first time when you came to campus to speak to former students. And I remember at the campus, loads of people were just inspired by your story. And I just wanted to ask you to sort of share a little bit about, who you are, what you do, and we'll get into the rest of the conversation later. So if you were to describe, so who is Boye Doe? What do you do?
First of all, I greet all those who have joined us today for the conversation. And my name is Debkusi Boye Doe. Boye Doe is just a simple guy who was into styling, but decided to purchase a passion, a dream, which is fashion design. Because I remember styling people, recommending clothes for people, and buying things for people. At times, you find it difficult to get the ones that you want. So I decided to, okay, let me come in and get the thing for the people myself. So Boye Doe was a stylist and now a fashion designer.
Okay. So before you applied, what sort of made you take the step to apply to the Joyce Ababio College of Creative Design? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, I went online. When I made up my mind, I went online to search. I remember the exact word I typed. I remember I typed the best fashion school in Ghana. and here JACCD pop up. So I decided to read about the school. It was quite interesting looking at the number of people that has come out successful from the school and are making names for themselves. I said, this is the place I have to be. So that's why I decided to come, and it has been amazing. It has been amazing. Just 1 year, it looked like 10 years in the industry.
What would you say is the most impactful thing that you took from your time there at JACCD?
There's a lot. Okay, but I think I have to pinpoint one. Okay, let me go to the end of the course when we were having graduation. Had an opportunity to partake in the village school competition. So I think that it was a very amazing competition, and after the competition, I had opportunity. I had a contact with the village school people, and having the opportunity to work with them after school, I think has been one of the most memorable and most remarkable things in my history.
So what was it like in class? Like what was the structure of your day? What were you guys doing? You know, how, because I've also heard that it can be quite intense if you're not careful. So how did you handle that? How did you do it?
Coming to learn everything in 1 year, when you say fashion design is broad, and using 1 year to learn everything is not a joke. So I remember the first day we came to school, we met Auntie Joyce, who spoke to us, and I remember the exact word that she said. She said, behave as if the 1 year that you are coming to spend here, you have traveled outside your friends, your family. So give your very best. And at first we were all laughing. I remember when she made that statement, we were all laughing because we think, oh, it will be quite flexible in a bit. But as time goes on, we realize that you have to put in your best. So we decided not to joke with it. Personally, I was so dedicated. I remember I never missed class because I was so eager to do. So that's what happened. I was so passionate about it. I was so eager.
So do you remember a specific week that you knew, like, this was the difference between you being an amateur and then you sort of, like, you found your stride? Was there a week that you remember, like, hey, this is where I finally come into myself?
Okay, I think, when you come to JACCD, we have so many things that you do. You have to come up with 10 garments. So I think first garment was quite challenging, coming up with the first garments, and that was the first time you're going to face Auntie Joyce, who, to us, she has seen it all. So just imagine doing something for someone who has been in the industry for more than 30 years, who has seen works a lot. So the fear a bit was there. What are we going to show her to please her? And I remember when you come to school, you will hear rumors about her when she's marking work, how serious she is, the kind of things that she expects. So it wasn't a joke at all. But I had this mentality always. I always wanted to be different. So that was my idea all the time. So whatever I decided to do, even if it's a simple trouser, I said, what can I add to the trouser to make it different? Is it a shirt, a normal shirt? What can I do to make it different? So there has to be that distinguished work. That was my perception. So I always did my work in that direction, and I think I got it right. I got it right. So I remember my 7 garments. I remember it was a theater, and we did this. We came as a group to do it, and we did so well. I remember when we were marking the work, Auntie was like, "Oh, this is a perfect work." So at that moment, the 7 garments, I knew that at least I have grown.
You've grown, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing because I think you've grown from strength to strength. And in your career so far, what would you say has been one of the highlights for you? What has been just an amazing moment for you?
I think it's a lot. I've had an opportunity to be on a couple of shows right from school. When we were in school, a GTP in connection with the Ministry of Tourism had the first ever Wear Ghana fashion show. So at that moment, we were introduced while we were in school. it's one of the things that I'm always grateful to Auntie Joyce, who constantly get us the platform, even as a student, not after school, even as a student, constantly getting us the platform to be on the show. So my first show was Where Ghana, and I think I will start from there because the beginning of it, the first time walking on the ramp was amazing. It was amazing. So it was the beginning of everything. Then after school, I had an opportunity to partake in Glitz Africa, and it was amazing. It was. I remember after the show, I had a lot of people coming over. I had a lot of contacts, and it started from there. I think everything started from Glitz Africa. Glitz Africa. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So in terms of your work, what are some of the things that inspire you? How do you sort of bring a piece together? How does it come?
I think of individualism, being different, be you. So most of my works, if it's a collection, I'm inspired by the natural things in life. Most of the time, history. I love history because to me, that's my perception about fashion. I say fashion is looking to the future, getting the grip of something from the future, then change it for the present day, use it for the time that we are in. So I love to go back to history, where it all started from, then changing something from it. So I'm always inspired by history, nature. But if I'm doing an individual piece for a client, I'm always inspired by the lives of the person, the client, because it's words.
It's true.
I'm a fashion designer, I'm not an artist, so I'm not going to do things that I like. So I'm always inspired by the person aspiration. What are some of the things that the person likes? Which part of the body is she ready to reveal? I ask all these questions and it get me what I need to do my work.
Okay. I just want to quickly tell the audience, if you guys have any questions, please do write them in the text box. We'll be asking those questions afterwards as well. So now we're kind of in crazy times with Corona and all this craziness going on now. How do you think it's impacted the fashion industry, and like, what do you think designers can do in this time?
A lot of designers has already started working in connection with that because we all have a responsibility. I've seen a lot of designers coming up with nose masks for a lot of people. Some are distributing it for free, some are taking money, and it's because they also need to buy the fabric. So it is an opportunity for designers to join the nation, the president, because as I tell people all the time, the president cannot do everything on his own. We as citizens have a part to play. So, and I'm so excited because we have already started. We were not asked to do it, but most of the designers have taken it upon themselves and they are doing it. So definitely it's a pandemic, it's things that we don't like at the moment, but at the same time, we've been in the house for like 3 weeks, getting to 1 month, and for many designers that I know, within that lockdown period was an opportunity for them to sit down, to come up with designs, because we all knew from the beginning this thing will come to an end. So it was an opportunity for us to do something, get some things down, so that right after everything is over, we can kickstart. And we were working non-stop as well. As you can see, we were working non-stop, so it was also an opportunity for us to relax ourselves and think of what to do next after.
Yeah, the next collections. Okay. I see we have some questions from the audience. Let me find the first one. So someone called Essie Libibs asked, I want to know how he transitioned from school to starting a business. How did you start? So how did you start your business?
I've always been a business man from the start. Even before I came to school, I was a stylist, so I used to buy clothes for clients. I used to sell clothes and other stuff. So the business side of fashion was always there. I've loved to be in business, so I decided not to wait after school. And I had an opportunity to work with someone after school, right after school. The person contacted me before school, so I had a person in mind before graduation. So right after was business started, and as I said earlier, when I had an opportunity to showcase at Glimpse, it was an exposure for me. I had a lot of people contacting me, sending me messages. So I said, okay, there's no time to delay. And we also learned business of fashion in school. So the basic thing that we needed to do, I already had that idea from school. So it was quite easy in a bit, although it had been quite challenging in a way, but starting wasn't quite difficult in a way. Yeah, so I started right after school.
Okay. We also have another question here. It says, what type of training do you receive at JACCD? Did you only learn how to make women's clothes?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm versatile. I'm a costume designer. If you ask me what my specialization, I'm a costume designer. And when you're a costume designer, you are versatile. I am thinking of movies. If someone comes to you, say you want to do a costume for movies, depending on the characters in the movie, that you will go along with it. So if there are doctors in, you're going to show all those things. If the person is depending on the role that they play. So one thing I love about JACCD, I remember the first time I was talking to a friend of mine who was outside, and the person was astonished how fast this thing has gone. I said, the opportunity you get in JACCD is that when you go, they teach you everything you need to know about sewing. We are not going to teach you men's wear, no. Women's wear, no. Everything you need to know about sewing. Seam finish, all the professional seam finish you need. So it was up to you, the designer that you want to be, to pick a particular sport that you want to master in. But I didn't place a limit on myself. I decided to be versatile. So I do everything. I do male, female, children. So I'm versatile. So in JACCD, there's no limitation. They will teach you everything you need to know. Then it's up to you to decide where you want to master.
That's amazing. Okay, hold on. There's one question here. Someone asked, do you have any tips on becoming a stylist?
Okay. I think the first question we need to ask is, who is a stylist?
Okay. So who is a stylist?
Okay, a stylist is someone who recommends styles and clothes for people. Not only recommend, some of them go an extra mile to buy for people, not only people, at times for stores, for boutiques. So when it is a fashion show, there are stylists there. You know, there are celebrities that they have stylists there. So their job is to introduce designers staff to clients. So at the same time, they are introducing a garment, bar, accessory to client, and also recommending to client what they should wear.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing about that is who a stylist is. And I tell people all the time that if you want to be a great stylist, you need to master colors. You have to be good with colors. You have to also master figure-wise strategies. You need to study the human figure, because it will depend on the individual that you are dressing. You're going to recommend
so like different body shapes.
Different body shape, color. Then you need to also be in love. You cannot be a stylist without being in love with fashion. You need to be in love with clothes. There should be that identity about you personally, that when people sees you, they will be able to tell. I remember when we went to school first, we had this amazing teacher who asked us before the class started, he asked what we all did before coming to school. So I told my side, I told her what I was doing, and she was like, I'm not surprised. Because right from the beginning, I remember the first year I entered school, because I thought I'm coming to fashion school, so I have to dress like a fashion designer. Okay. So I
look the part,
I came fully prepared. Yeah, so you yourself have to look clean. You have to look sharp. You need to understand colors, understand the human figure, and I think you are good to go.
That's wonderful. We have so many questions now. Hold on. Let me see. All right. So Okay, someone says this is not a question but a praise. Boye Doe right here is it's determination personified. He's my daddy and personal coach in terms of fashion. I love you, sir. Okay, wonderful.
I love you
Fantastic.
too.
Who is this? Yeah. Oluwaseun 13. Okay. Another question. How did he oh no, I don't know what the person is asking. But how about this? What makes JACCD different from other fashion schools, in your opinion?
Oh, okay. I've not been to other fashion schools, so I have to
True.
speak from the one that I've experienced. As I said, I think one of the things we need to ask ourselves is how can you identify a great school?
True.
It should be record of the people that that school has raised who are doing well, and you have evidence to that. I don't think there's any fashion school who have raised a lot of designers like Joyce Abibu, College of Creative Education has done. Not just raising them, who are doing well as well. Every year, I think the school graduates nothing less than 200 people every year. And most of them come out so successful, are doing very well.
Yourself included?
We can't begin to mention names, but right from the school, see, because, and one amazing thing you also get is when a client comes to you and the person, most of the time, they will ask you where you got your training from. The moment you will say Joyce Abibu, most of them are rest assured. They know that you can do the job well because they've heard about the training, how serious things are, how the woman love perfection. So when you come out from Joyce Abibu, they believe, the trust that people have for you most of the time is there. Most of the time is there. So to me, I can't compare Joyce Abibu with other schools. As I said, I have not been there, so I can't. Yeah. So, but Joyce Abibu has been a major influence in my career. Has been a major influence to my career, and it's the best. To me, it's the best because, as I said, it's the first fashion school in West Africa, and it's still the best. Why? Because it's active. Some people started; they were the first, but they couldn't continue. So, as I told you all the time, it's not about you being the first. No, it's about you being the best. So, being consistent in your results. Yeah. So, Josiah Bill is my number one.
Amazing. Great. Here's another question. Someone has asked, I got to follow your feature in Vogue, and I've heard you speak. My question is, how do you know what design is runway worthy as a beginner? Do you intend on taking up any up-and-coming designers under your wing? Yeah.
I think it was a two question. I didn't get the first one, but I got the last one.
So the first question was, how do you know that a design is runway worthy as a beginner? Yeah.
Okay.
And then
runway designs, we wouldn't specify that as just runway, because the idea as a designer, what you have to have in mind is not just creating wild or flamboyant things that will end up in your shop. So when you think of there's a particular design for runway, you will miss it. You will have a lot of stuff in your house that you will not be able to sell it. When you are designing, think of selling it.
Okay.
If you want to do a piece for, let me say, a showcase in your shop, then you can go that extra. That is why even to today, avant-garde has been minimized. That we wear it. At first, avant-garde was something that you cannot wear it. But now, avant-garde has been a wearable art that you can wear. In as much as it's amazing, it's different, there should be a business side of designing. So I wouldn't say there should be a design for runway, but you also need to, when it's a runway thing, you also need to add a touch of perfection, being different, so that when people see the thing, there will be that kind of joy, that kind of excitement, but also think of selling it. Don't keep it in the house. If the idea is keeping it, you will have a lot in your house. No, focus is selling it. So when you are designing, have clients in mind. The first thing you need to know is who and who do you want to impact? Who are your clients. Yeah. So when you have these things set straight, you do things to fit those class. You cannot sew for everybody. You know, you can't. So you need to have a client in mind. Who and who do you want to reach? Yeah. So I think there shouldn't be. And also, oh yeah, I would love to work with people because I believe that two heads are better than one. And when you also have an amazing people who believe in the same thing you believe, for those people that know me, they know that I pull a lot of people towards me. I have a lot of people that I call them most of the time when I'm so full with work. I have a lot of people that I talk to that they come to my place most of the time, and so you know that I encourage that. I like that, to bringing people close to you. Yeah.
Okay. How would you prefer people, you know, if they want to work with you, how do they get in touch with you? What should they, you know, DM you on Instagram?
DM me on Instagram. You can call me. My contact is there as well. So you can call me, you can DM me. Yeah.
All right. So whoever asked the question, shoot your shot. All right. We have another question here. It says, how do you work cross-functionally with developers, copywriters, project managers? Do you have a need for those positions right now?
Yeah, I do have production managers. I have photographers. I have bloggers that I do work with. Yeah. Okay. It started from a good conversation. Most of the time I reach out to them, I explain the things I want, if they can be of help, if they can join me, and I have some that I do work with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Someone has asked, tell me about the projects that you're most proud of and why. So far.
I think I saw who asked that question. It's my brother, I know. Okay, FBI man, I know. Okay, the project I love the most and why? I think to me, fashion is solution, providing solution for people. Because without us, people will be walking around naked. So I love, that's a two-push. Okay, the project I love the most. Okay, I think okay, I think the project is quite broad. If I can know what type of project he's talking about, I think I will be able to answer. Because projects, it can be, because I've done a lot of projects. I remember doing a project with the first lady. I had an opportunity to do a project with the first lady with other designer from JACCD, where we spoke about infertility. So I think in that perspective, it's a project. Then I also did a project that was an individual client who wanted to reach some people in northern region. So I did a mascot dress for that person, and it was about health issues. So I think I would like to venture into health issue because a lot of people are facing challenges, and I tell people all the time that fashion can also be a way to communicate people, especially there are some clothes that you see some write-up inside. So writing on designs can also have a lot of impact. So I think health sector is one of the projects that I want to take it upon myself in the years to come to advocate for that area. And I love it because I want everyone to live in health. That is why because if they are not well, they cannot go out. And if they cannot go out, the designer cannot get clients. So if they are in good health, then they will come to you. So I love health. It's a project on health.
Can I ask one question? What's your favorite piece that you've, like, your favorite garment that you've created? Do you have one?
Favorite. I think that one will be an individual garment. There's a lot of things I've done. I don't post it. Most of the time, if it's an individual thing, I don't really post it. Yeah. But let me talk about the one that I have. I think it will be the one I spoke about now, the infertility. I did a pineapple dress. Yeah. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites because because of the idea behind the pineapple and what I wanted to portray. I remember after that show, I had more than 50 people, and these were high profile people, because in the program we have more than 21 first ladies all across Africa there, and most of them wanted to came to take a picture with that piece, and it was so inspiring. So it's one of my favorite pieces.
We have an interesting question here. What inspired your logo and your label?
What inspired?
Your logo and label.
Ooh. Yeah. Okay. When you take a particular, like a closer look at it, you see the Jinyame symbol inside. It's my name, although it's Boye Doe, so the BD, but it has Jinyame. I trust God. So the idea was my name, then with the Jinyame symbol, which you all know is about God. Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay, so someone has a comment for you. They say, "Bro, that's one thing. You've inspired me a lot and pushed me and my career. You're phenomenal." So that's really lovely. Oh, this is an interesting one too. They say, Boye Doe, are you sure you weren't a professional designer before you joined JACCD? I asked this because of the quality of work that you produce.
No, for those that know me can attest. I've had a lot of issue with this question. People don't believe it. I had that same issue when I was in school with some of my beloved teachers. They couldn't believe it. But I think, as I said, if you are passionate about getting things done, you go for it. And one thing about me, when I decide to do something, I do it with everything I have. I'm so passionate about it. As I said, I love to wear nice things. So if I'm doing something, I have to, no matter what it is, even if it's a non-tester garment, I make sure that I do it to perfection. So I am so eager to bring the best in it. I don't just do design things. No, I'm not in a hurry to do anything. If you bring a work and a time limit is small, I will tell you that I can't do it, because I tell you the name is more important than money you are bringing. So I love perfection, and I came without nothing. I came to yourself with you. As I said, and I had an idea about styling, but when it comes to garment construction, I didn't. Joyce Abbey was my first time I step on a machine. But people still don't believe. But if you are so passionate about it, I think it's possible. It's very possible.
And that's amazing that you learned all those skills in just 1 year. Like it's quick if you think about it. Let's see. We have another comment.
As I said, it was seriousness. I was so serious about it. I was very serious about it, and I made sure that any work that was given to us, I tried to be the first to finish. Although I was finding it, what I said, because I was not fast in stitching. But the idea about the designing was there. So coming up with what I wanted to do was always easy. But the construction was the issue at first. But as I went by and was so serious about it, I was able to get it done.
Wonderful. Someone called, okay, so they say, this person's name is Kitso from Uganda. I was inspired by Boye Doe after seeing him on YouTube. I want to know how he managed to learn both things at a time. I don't know. Which things are you talking about specifically, Kitso? If you write them down in the comments, then we'll get to your question. Okay, so here's another question. Juliama Abna asked, how were you able to manage your personal business as well as your work in the fashion industry?
Okay, personal business. I stopped everything I was doing and came right into the fashion industry. So I just say all the business I'm doing is fashion. There's no other personal business I do aside fashion.
How about your personal life? Maybe is there a separation between the two?
Personal life.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I'm cool. There's two things I do. Is worshiping God and designing.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's the only two things I do: worshiping God and designing. So if I'm not studying the Bible or worshiping God, I'm designing.
Yeah. Okay, we've got another question here. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't know if you'll do this, but they say, Boye Doe, please, I'd like to see some of your garments in house now, if you can.
Ooh, in my house right now. Wow. I didn't know things. Ooh.
No, we'll see. Maybe we'll keep that to the end.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah, okay.
choose another question. Okay. Someone has asked. Let's see. Sorry. Can you give an example of what inspires you for a particular design? So let's say for your, you said the one about infertility. What were the type of things that were inspiring you?
Okay, for the infertility, what inspired me was the pineapple, and that is because of the idea behind pineapple. They gave us a team about telling people, when you come to Africa, for instance, there has been this ideology that when a couple is not able to give birth, the issue is always with the lady, which is not so. So the men always try to abuse the ladies in this perspective. So we're asked to do designs to talk about fertility is a shared responsibility. And I choose pineapple because when you look at pineapple have this rough exterior, this rough surface, but inside the pineapple is that sweetness.
True.
So to me, the pineapple, the outside of the pineapple was like the bruises, the abuse that they give to the lady, the trouble that the societal abuse, the marital abuse, emotional abuse that she faced. But inside the woman is much more than bringing children. So there's much more in the woman than just children. So that is why pineapple inspired me. So to me, I said, don't mind what the man is doing, don't mind what the society is doing. Wear your crown as the pineapple and be sweet inside. So that is why inspired the pineapple. Then I remember I did a collection with the man, the team was the man, the message, and the mandates. As I said, I love to worship God. So the man, to me, the man was actually Jesus Christ. The message was the message that he brought. Then the mandate was what he gave us. Yeah, so it was for a Vlisco, so I changed it to, that is the man behind the Vlisco fabric, then his message on cultural diversity, then his mandates, getting the fabric to everywhere in the world. So I always want to communicate something, but most of these things come with looking at the thing in mind at the moment.
So you were saying before that fashion sort of, it speaks. It's a communication. It's a language, So.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have some more comments. Art Life Matters says, great session, great designer. I saw your work at the MER Merck Foundation event. We'll definitely work together at the Artitude project. Keep it up. Okay. Let's see. Wow, all those skills learned in 1 year, someone says. We've already answered with that. Okay, someone asked, how do you deal with feedback?
Okay, depending on what the person is suggesting, I always try to learn, adjust myself to learn. So no matter what feedback that comes in, I look at the thing that's being said. Then I look at where I fall short at that moment. I need to adjust. No matter how harsh the feedback might be, you need to always think of the client first, as I always say. I remember I did something for a client. She didn't like it. I had to do it again.
Wow.
I wasn't better. I remember when I finished, she was surprised. She was like, I thought we were going to be upset. I said, no. So most of the time, you cannot get it the way you want it. As I said, the most important thing is the clients. If you offend these clients now, because every client is a door to a world. This client that you are doing, if you do something for her and she's okay or he's okay, through him or through her, you will get a lot of people. So I'm always eager to learn. So any feedback that comes, I adjust myself so that I can pick something from it.
That's good. It's a way to grow, actually. Let's see. Oh, so Francis asked, well, this is a question for me. So, Is admission still ongoing, and how does one apply? Yes, admission is still ongoing. You can apply online. So head to our website, jaccd.edu.gh. All right, so we have some more questions. A lot of people are really people have so many questions for you. All right. Okay, well, this isn't a question so much. Someone says, I'm a lawyer. I would love to work with you. You are so professional. That is good.
That's cool.
All right. So did you further after? Wait, I'm not sure. I'm guessing maybe this person is asking, did you take any further studies after you graduated from JACCD? Was that more than enough for you to be professional?
I didn't take any other course. Right from JSRBU, I started. Yeah.
Okay. Someone asked, you're very artistic. Do you have a visual art background?
Oh, yeah, I did visual arts in school.
Oh, you did? Oh, wow.
I was a science student at first, but I ran away from science class and I went to join the visual art class. So I'm a visual art student.
Okay. Someone has just asked about your hat. So what kind of hat do you wear? Did you design it yourself?
Oh, no. I love this bow tie. I got it from a brother of mine. He's also a stylist, FB Amani. I love hats. As a matter of fact, to me, I think it's my signature. So I don't go anywhere without hats. I love hats, bow tie specifically. No, I didn't design it, but I do some. There is some that I do. If you see some of my work, you see some of them I do hat, but this particular one was ordered.
So I think we're gonna wrap up soon, but I do have a question for you. Where do you see yourself in the future? What's the ideal goal for you to reach in the future, would you say?
No limitation. Going higher. I always want to do what I did, do better than what I did. So the competition is with myself. So I want to outdo my past. So in the years to come, my focus is more about affecting Africa. The world will come, but my main focus is my people. Let's take Ghana, for instance. We have over 25 million people. To get 1 million clients is not a joke. So the focus is my people first. So in the next 5 years, my focus is still Ghana.
Yeah.
Then after 5 years, I'm thinking of East Africa and South Africa. Yeah.
Okay, so Kito came back, the person from Uganda, and they asked, he wants to know how you managed to learn designing for both menswear and ladies' wear.
Ooh, I didn't want to limit myself, and I wanted to, because paying a school fees that you will have an opportunity to learn everything. Why would you decide to go for one? You see? Yeah. So I wanted to make good use of the money I paid. And, I'm a man, so I needed to do something for myself. I can't come out and doing lady stuff only. And I didn't also come out doing only men. No, I've always loved to dress ladies as well. So having an opportunity to learn both sides, I didn't want to limit myself. So if there was a choice of maybe choose one, it would have been a problem. But there was no limitation to that. So I didn't want to limit myself.
Hold on. There are so many questions coming in. A lot of people. Hold on. Sorry. Let's see. Wow, this is a long question. Yeah, this question is too long to see on the screen, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we've answered this question already as well. Someone has asked, how do you balance your Christian life with your amazing and painstaking work?
Oh, I have a personal timetable that I have. I followed on. I do most of my work when it comes to the work design. I do most of the things at nights. And as I said, I do have, whilst I'm even working, I'll be listening to messages, Christian messages, songs, So it's, as I said, it's the true life I live, worshiping God and designing. So there's no other life. So this is what I do. So if I'm not designing, I'm either listening to message or whilst I'm even working, because designing, you need environments that can be conducive for you to design. So what are some of the things you like? I always tell people the things that you like to do most when you are designing. If it's music, the type of music you want, whilst you are sewing or you are drafting or you are coming up with designs. So I listen to messages, I listen to music. If you see for those that know me, more than time, you do laugh at me because it's hardly for you to see no secular music on my phone. I do listen to them. When I go for
But it's
shows,
not.
you don't play Christian song on shows, so I do listen. But most of the time when I'm working, I do listen to music a lot.
So we have a lot of people who haven't applied to the school yet, and I wanted to know, like, what's the advice that you would give people who are looking to get into the fashion industry? Would you recommend that they go to JACCD? What are your thoughts?
Okay, but one of the things, some people might say they love to come, but they have an issue. Don't let anything stop you. We all didn't get it, everything for us from the beginning. No, don't postpone the vision. I've said this thing and I will say it again and again and again. When you are so passionate about this thing, go for it. Don't delay. And when you come to make up your mind, because if you are paying money for something, you should get something from it. So first of all, don't delay, don't postpone. Come. This is the time, because let's take this incident that just happened now. I've been in the house these 3 weeks. I have everything in my house. So for those who are going to work somewhere, couldn't go. But if you're a designer, for instance, you can be in your house and still work. So when we have had lawyers, doctors who have ventured into. I remember when I was in school, we had lawyers in our class. We had, a lot of people who are into various professions who came. So don't let the passion go. This is the time. Don't delay. And 1 year, as I said, it was difficult from the beginning, but decide 1 year will just come now, and you will not regret it. So don't delay. This is the time. If you want to join, I think they are still taking admission is still ongoing. Also, you can. Don't delay. Yeah.
Yes, please come and apply. I think it can change your life. A year is not too much time to sacrifice, So it's definitely it takes you a step closer to your dreams. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think this question. What do you think is the biggest thing JACCD has taught you?
Time management. Time management.
Important. Yes.
Time management, because the industry, that's what you need, and that is what we are taught. We give you a work, we will give you the following day you are presenting it. So you are just time management is one of the best things that I got from JSMB.
Okay. And so I'm guessing it's because of like the weekly, like the garments was every week, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so what would happen? Did this ever happen? Did anyone ever miss a garment? What happens in those cases?
A lot of people did miss garments. A lot of people did miss garments. Yeah. A lot, but I didn't. I was not ready to miss. I was not ready to miss even one. But some people had issue with their machine at home. There's machine in the school, but we close from school, so you need to go home and continue. Some people had issues, so they couldn't finish.
Okay. So someone is asking, who designed your logo for you?
A friend of mine.
Okay.
A friend of mine.
Let's see. And does the friend of yours have a company? Does he, or is it just something that he does for fun?
Yeah, he has a company. You can DM me, then I'll give you the info.
Okay. All right. So I think we're coming to a close. You've been on here for about 50 minutes now, actually. Yeah. But it was very, very, very great to speak to you. But before we go, I always ask this one question. is there something that you would just like to tell all of us here today? Specifically about either JACCD or just you, like.
Okay, I think I've said it's for those who want to come to or who want to be fashion designers. There's a lot. When we say someone want to be a fashion designer, there's a lot in the fashion design. It's not we have garment constructors who construct garment. We have fashion illustrators who come up with sketches. We have buyers. We have stylists. So there's a lot. You see, when you come to JACCD, it's yours. You have to decide where you want to be. So for those that want to come, I will encourage you to do it now. And also, this is the time that we have to also appreciate what we have. A lot of designers are doing so well. Made in, and when we say made in Ghana, I've had issue with a lot of designers as well. When we say made in Ghana, some people mistakenly think it's prints only. No, because some of the prints are not made in Ghana. So what about that? So there's a lot of designers who are doing so well. So I will encourage everyone to encourage us by purchasing us by conduct. You might think some of the designers, their price is too much, but I think quality demand that. So it depends on who you want, because some people, if even the thread that we use is different. Some prices are different from others. The zip we're going to use, the lining. So it depends on what you expect from the designer. So I'll encourage everyone to encourage made in Ghana goods by.
Some of the students are here actually also watching as well. And they're asking, do you have any advice for them who are students right now?
Okay, yeah, for the students, I love you all once again. I love you all. One thing I'll tell you is be serious about this thing. Decide that you are not going to miss any garments. Decide that when the going get tough, you will still move. You see, one of the things I tell people is the Bible talks about who the Father loveth, he chastises. That means the one that loves you will correct you. See, so with that correction, it can be a shout. See, so when someone shouts on you by correcting you, don't get upset. Go for what you are. This is not time to play. I'm a manager in a company. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a this. I'm a mother. No, when you decide to come to school, I tell people, no matter what you know before you came, let go that ego and focus on the assignment. So the people that are going to teach you have everything. They have every right to tell you what to do. So decide that you're going to embrace everything. You are going to be there for 1 year. So you will go. You see, so I'll tell everyone in school now that if you're also finding it difficult, there are people there who you can consult. There are teachers there, there are TAs there who are willing to consult. And some of us are also there. If you contact me and you need help, and I will. But if I can't, I will also let you know. Yeah. But a lot of people do contact me and I do help them. Yeah.
Someone has just asked, can you show us what you're wearing? If people, I think at least 2 people have, yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. Did you design this, or is this a piece that you got yourself?
Yes, please, I did.
Okay. Wow. Very, very nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely.
So I think it's cool.
Okay. Perfect. So someone had said that we're very proud of you, and we definitely are. You know, you are one of our shining alums, and it was so great to have this conversation with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak.
Yeah. Thank you. And I'm so excited, and I'm honored to be the first on the couch. It's such a great opportunity. It's such an opportunity. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Just to everybody who is here, just remember that admissions are still open. You can apply online at jaccd.edu.gh and call our numbers. And thank you so much for having this conversation with me, and I'll see you guys all later. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.